Hello everyone, my name is Ming Fan, Assistant Professor at the Communication University of China. Today I will be presenting our exploratory study with rural Chinese children using an augmented reality app learning English alphabetic rules. This study is based on our previous research that explored the design and evaluation of a tangible reading system called PhonoBlock, supported for children at risk for dyslexia and the children who learn English as a foreign language. We conducted two case studies to evaluate the viability of PhonoBlock with our targeted users. The result shows that children in both studies achieved significant gains in reading and spelling trained and untrained words after PhonoBlock instruction compared to their baseline performance. The results also suggest that dynamic color cues attract children's attention, while 3D tangible letters enabled epistemic strategies to make the spelling task easier than if they were printing on paper. Despite the positive results, our PhonoBlock solution is limited because it is comprised of customized hardware of an electronic letter maker platform and 3D plastic tangible letters. This makes it difficult to scale and distribute for use in schools. It motivates us to switch to the AR solution because AR can be used to present a visual overlay on physical letters that many schools already have. Based on the previous design, we built the AR PhonoBlock, which contains the core design features of the dynamic color cues and 3D physical letters. For example, in the consonant blends lesson, the letter C will change to green when there is letter R to indicate the two sounds blended together. We also kept other design features such as the learning and practice modes. In this study, we report on the results with 11 children from a rural low socio-economic status school in Beizuo, Guizhou, China. The opportunity to work with this school arose from one of my family members who was working on another research project in the area. The teachers report that many of the children had difficulties learning English, in part due to the lack of resources and instructional support. Although the students were from rural low socio-economic state schools, mobile phones were widely used in most families due to the boosting plan of Guizhou as a data center of China, as well as the connecting needs of the left-behind children with their parents in town. We therefore believe it may be a good opportunity for us to explore how rural children use our AR app to learn English. We particularly focused on three research questions. How do children use the AR app during the instructional process? How are children motivated to learn with AR app? And what feedback do teachers provide on utilizing the AR app in rural schools? In this presentation, I would focus on the main results from the first and third research questions. 11 children with an average age of 11 years old at Beizuo Elementary School participated in our study. We administrate 3 one-to-one 20-minute training sessions to teach the rules of the consonant vowels and the consonant blends. In each session, a trained facilitator used an explicit phonic-based approach validated in previous studies to teach 1 to 3 words and associate alphabetic rules. We used mixed methods to collect and analyze our data. During each session, 2 researchers took semi-structured observational notes about children's verbal and nonverbal interactional and learning behaviors, and videotaped sessions. At the end of the last training session, we collected data about children's motivations using an oral 5-point Likert questionnaire. We also conducted a 2-hour focus group with 4 teachers to ask their feedback about the app. The result shows that all the children were able to follow the facilitator's instructions and complete lessons in the learning mode. But when switching to practice mode, many children seem to lack confidence to complete lessons on their own. One potential reason could be that children were not very familiar with the symbolic meaning of each icon, which increased their cognitive load to deal with both the app use and the spelling tasks. This suggests that the flexible scaffoldings need to be included to support children's interaction and learning with AR apps. In both modes, the augmented dynamic color cue seemed useful for attracting children's attention and helping them detecting spelling errors, which we also noticed in our previous studies with the tangible phono block. This suggests that the explicit augmented dynamic color cues with phonologic sounds seem useful to draw children's attention to the alphabetic rules. We also find that children were excited to see 3D animations and hear the game's rewarding sounds, although certain 3D animations, such as cheap, pet, were difficult for them to understand due to the different cultural backgrounds than our original audience for the app. So 3D multimedia content with explanations should be designed based on the children's cultural background. We noticed that children interact with physical letters cautiously. The frequently seen action was to pick up and line up letters. The results were different than the tangible study. This may be because that children's hands action on the tablet sometimes block the markers on the letters and cause a flicker of the augmented color cue, or because they were cautious due to the perceived novelty and expensive of the system. In the focus group, the teachers mentioned that the structured lessons on alphabetic rules and multimedia and gamification may benefit children in learning, but they also brought several issues. For example, the school would not likely purchase tablet and letter sets if they could only support learning English. This suggests that designers should consider design as a culturally and contextually specific ecological system rather than merely a problem-solving activity or user-centered process resulting in an effective learning app. Second, the English teacher said it would be difficult to integrate the AR-based instruction into the current teaching approach. This suggests that the instruction for using an AR or any new technology system would not only be designed for students, but also for teachers. As this was an exploratory study, we did not examine children's learning goals. We only deployed the AR app for 1 week, so we could not avoid the novelty effects of a new technology. The case we selected was very typical in China, but the context may be not typical in other countries or areas. We also acknowledge the importance of exploring our questions potentially through co-design, although we use another approach. In conclusion, our work contributes to the design knowledge about important considerations when working with teachers and children from rural low socioeconomic state schools, and provides further support for the use of colors and sounds as digital augmentation to focus on children's attention on key elements of alphabetic rule. We suggest further research should be conducted to explore the use and learning effectiveness of AR apps for rural children. Thank you for your time.